Hi, Scorpio. Patterns, vices, passions. What keeps you stuck? Maybe significant. And it's just the theme all over this planet oracle, the Fool. I think Libra had 3 fools at the end of the reading, if I have it right. But beginning, starting at 0. I'm hearing that song. Yeah. I'm drawn to the Hermit. Hermit, withdrawing your light, pulling back your light. But 0. So imagine dragons. Okay, let's start. Let's go ahead and start there. So let's talk a little bit about Scorpio. As most of you know, if you've watched the first Planet Oracle, the masculine is doing soul work in the past, maybe from an elevated view from our last Planet Oracle. So from a different vantage point, there's this idea, whether it's masculine or feminine, or it is the masculine, they, on their back, there have been 3 rebirths. So maybe work that they've done, and they may have kept this hidden. Yeah. And they may be quite emotional about this. But it's almost like stepping into the light, out from the shadow, related to perhaps feelings about things being born or created rebirths upon their back. So there's a need to dig deeply here. So there is a need to withdraw. If it feels like it's been a long, dry desert, there may have been an internal battle. You could be battling your intuition, almost like Libra, about a partnership. Something that you really just have to dig so deeply for water for. And maybe recognizing that you're in toil and trouble. Like your work, although it's supporting others, how better to just support yourself? Yeah, almost like instead of being that foundation support and coming into rescuing. I mean, this is a feminine energy. It appears. I keep hearing, let me tell you what it's like to be a 0. So being at ground 0 in a way. Not being good enough for anything real. Looking for a way out of this. It's something groundbreaking, but it's almost like looking for a way out of just maybe it's been your role. You've been the foundational support for a lot of people. And they're sort of taking off and you're sort of like, whoa, I'm like stuck in the past here. Maybe from an elevated viewpoint, but other people are flying and I'm still stuck here. Rescue yourself. So it might be a change of thinking here. Oh, all right. Something about the feminine banana boat may be significant, like getting on the boat. So the feminine, yes, is getting on a boat. The feminine, again, I'm seeing just like gasping. It's almost like one wave after another. It could be waves of fear, needing to be open, remembering who you are. The feminine is carried a lot of burdens. A cycle is completing for the feminine, within or without. And there's judgment here. Awakening. Feminine's awakening to maybe what I'm hearing invested in, like what, being open to trying new things. I'm just seeing cruise ships again. It's almost like, well, trying this cruise ship, it seems glamorous, but there may be a divine redirection. you know, coming in rather quickly. It's just time. The feminine is just moving on. It's like they're like under, like tired of being underwater. Yeah, being encouraged, like coming out from under the water. There's encouragement here to come out, get on the boat, nourish yourself. There's something, I don't like you're always like, oh, there's something even better, but there's just something maybe you don't quite see coming that may manifest form in the 3D. So tell me more about this. What's coming that it's almost like it's being created, and maybe you created this, you already dreamt this up, maybe in a prior awakening. This is like good fortune. And a mother, an empress may be significant. Yeah, being encouraged. It is. It's almost like this could be a parent encouraging a child. They are encouraging you to create space, to allow this wave, this good to come in. That there's, I don't know if you need to read a book or if there's something hidden here. There's hidden knowledge. Let me tell you about it. The part of the song. I feel like it's something about freedom, but I can't remember the lyrics. It's about being worthy, being good enough for something real, because it's coming in. And maybe in the past you just kept going for, like, it's almost like you're being fed off of, almost like vampires. 3 vampires are significant. So this finally comes out in the, it took this long, finally comes out in Scorpio reading, 3 vampires. So it may have sucked your blood. Coming out of this vampiric, wherever you're living, they're showing me those books. It's not Moonlight or Twilight. Could be significant. Not Bram Stoker. I can't remember the other ones. Sorry. Almost like New Orleans, like that. Just show me that feel. It's always set. I just can't recall the series. Okay, let's continue on. Talk about this karma. That was something very big flying by. Okay, about this karma. So maybe there's just been a story, and I'm hearing someone spun a story about home. Maybe there's a need for a new story. There was some type of deceit, lies. Maybe you were blindfolded. You get to create a new story. It's a blank slate. Okay, these lies, like someone spun like a story about home, perhaps early on. No longer swallowing these lies, these thoughts. Like someone made off with a lot. There was a lot of deceit. Someone made off with a lot of swords. And now you get an opportunity. There's luck in wiping the slate clean and starting over. Yeah, a home that's actually authentic, real. Stepping into authenticity, honesty, stepping into the light. Fall may be significant. Tell me about spirit. Spirit presents something comforting about the spirit. It's almost like a unicorn. You may feel like you're just a one-ring circus, almost isolated on an island. There's something melting. It's almost, there's a balance. I seem like a balancing act here. An elephant on top of these red rocks in the middle of ringmaster. There is isolation, isolated on this island. Give yourself grace. There's a message about giving yourself grace. The spirit presents. I am hearing fire on the mountain. Show yourself mercy or someone else mercy. Could be a Queen of Swords or a passionate fire sign. Like going the distance. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of fire here. It's like fire, thoughts, and some emotions. This reading. There's a lot of earth. But a lot of fire. Passionate thoughts are significant. Being aware. Trying to be present. And tell me about the direction for Scorpio. 11, 21. Tell me about the direction. There's a new beginning, full energy, taking authority with a new beginning. This new beginning may require 13 energy for you to withdraw, rest for this new beginning of authority. There's some type of celebration, could be related to work. There's just a need, just to mirror, and in that quiet, and it could be what's mirrored to you in the solitude. That's where that hermit energy, there's the need for hermit energy, withdrawing your light, maybe reflecting on patterns in relationships before moving into a commitment of some sort. Yeah, because there's some, knowing your vices or the people that are surrounding you. And it's like they're all watching from the woods, like what your next move is going to be. Committing to yourself, but there's just a need for solitude to let, like what's from below the surface to come up, something to be mirrored to you related to commitment. Okay, good luck, Scorpio. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in our next episode.